Do you say it? I say it?
Oh, part of that closed session, direction was given to staff.
So there are 3.
Do we have any public comments for items that are not on the agenda? Please.
Thank you, Aaron. We can hear you moving around, Elaine, just so you know.
Laverne Buckman, Seneca resident. I've commented on this before, but again, trying to read this agenda, I have to comment again that maybe it's just my lack of the right technology, but just having it available on the internet without numbers, that I can't track the page easily to even just to print out that page, you know, to be able to see it better, makes it very difficult to come informed to reading. And I think quite visually, too many people in our community are taking the time to try to figure that out, to actually see what's on the agenda. And it's not tomorrow's fault, by no means. It's just the system and how things are going. And I think it's something that the board ought to try to figure out how to address that to make it more available to people in the community.
Thank you. Any other public comments? All right, moving on.
Actually, I do have somebody from the sheriff's here.
Yes, okay. Work on staff and committee reports. San Luis Obispo County Sheriff. Step on up.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No problem.
Can you just state your name?
Jason Caron. Last name is Caron.
Thank you.
So thank you for the invite. I was assigned to come in place of Commander Donovan. He was recently assigned to the North Station within the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 months. I myself have been assigned there for probably the last 6 months or so. So like I said, I appreciate the opportunity to come up. A little bit about myself. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 15 years. I've been a sergeant now for 2 years. In my time with the Sheriff's Office, I was primarily working patrol at the coast station, which is in Los Osos. And then I went into the investigative bureau and did coroner investigations as part of our coroner unit. So my sole purpose was investigating coroner's cases prior to promoting to sergeant. And once I promoted to sergeant, we worked the watch commander's desk in San Luis Obispo down by the jail. And essentially we're assigned there so that we can be on 24 hours a day and make sure that someone's there to monitor Diablo and have access to the sirens and everything else. So it's a little bit different here at the station. I do live in Templeton, so I kind of appreciate working here in North County and now dealing with more North County issues. Obviously every substation has their own issues that they deal with in their areas that they serve. So I appreciate the opportunity to kind of be up here. My hope is that I can stay up here for the full rotation, which is 2 years, and then possibly extend for a 3rd year. So I'm still kind of early on in that, but still looking forward to being up here. So what I brought up is, I brought up our call for service for 2019, because I'm not sure when the last time there was a report by the Sheriff's Office. And then I also have numbers just for January 2020, so up until now. So going into those, so 2019 in the San Miguel area, we had 2,251 calls for service, which led to 169 crime reports, 82 incident reports. Of those crime reports, we have 55 felonies, 102 misdemeanors, and the balance of that, which I think is 12, if my math is correct, would have been infractions. So the amount of tickets we wrote would have been 12. tickets. And then for January, we were looking at 122 calls for service, 13 crime reports so far, 6 incident reports. And then of the crime reports, we have 6 felonies and 7 misdemeanors. And those are not, the crime report numbers are not indicative of how many arrests that we have. It's less than that. Those crime reports include everything that someone could call in for, so vandalisms and thefts where we may or may not have suspects.
Okay.
So, are there any questions that you have for me or that I can take back to the sheriff's office? And
In your research to get the 2019 numbers, including January of this year, did you see any trends in those numbers?
Not really. Not any trends that would kind of lend themselves to allow us to more pre-plan. A lot of what we see is that, you know, the winter months is slower. It's a lot colder in North County than it is in other areas of the county. And as soon as summer kind of comes around, we start having more calls around the lake. You'll have more theft reports and things like that because you have kids out of school. That's kind of the standard. But other than those kind of normal trends, we haven't seen really too much of anything else yet.
Other questions?
How are we doing with the other, compared to the other communities, like Shandon and, which one has more calls for service, us or Shandon? Because I know we're similar in size, and there's also.
You know, off the top of my head, I wouldn't have that number.
I just didn't know if we're pulling, if we, have the most amount of activity out of North County, or.
I would venture a guess that you do not.
Okay.
But what I can do is I can look at the comparison between you and say Shandon and maybe Santa Margarita.
Okay.
I know that Santa Margarita seems to be a little bit less in calls for service over the year, I believe, but even that is not guaranteed. But I'm sure, hopefully I'll be invited to the next meeting and I can, I'll look into that for the next meeting to kind of give you that comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so very much.
No
And
question.
Could you write your email address on that
Yeah.
page in there, and I'll have that.
Oh, do you know if someone special from the community like likes to cause trouble is back on the streets again, or are they still gone?
Someone special. I know,
With a bird in their name?
Yeah.
some people are still in custody. I think possibly a family member is out, so, but I know one's in custody and one's out.
Okay.
Yeah. I know the names come up recently, but I think it's a relative and not who we were having trouble with before.
Okay.
Yeah. But I can bring that back to you too next time.
Please do.
Anything else?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, safe.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
coming.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you for coming.
Of course.
Okay, moving on. Slick County Board of Supervisors, not here. Planning and Public Works, not here. Advisory Council, not here. Camp Roberts, not here. I'll move on to district staff and committee reports, interim general manager.
All right. CSD has received a letter from the Centerville Garbage Company expressing interest in engaging in a contract when theirs expires in January 2021. So that's a year out, but you have to put all the details together, so they're engaging us now with the letter. They have been under contract with us for the past 15 years, and the current contract will expire in 2021. Vice President Aaron Kardashian expressed in their engagement letter that they are interested in engaging in another 15-year contract with the ability to have a 5-year extension. Currently, the contract has 3 one-year extensions. They'll also will be bringing back a solid waste agreement and waste ordinance to you guys in the near future. So when we look at that, we'll be talking about the future for their contract at that time. I heard back from an investment banking company about the USDA loan. She reviewed some of the conditions and the rate, and she stated that because it's $1,250,000, and with that rate, typically those USDA loans, to get a better rate, are larger than that amount. And so the interest rate that we have on it and the term of time, that we're probably not gonna get a better rate than that. But what she did say, knowing that we have potential construction and things going on, if we seek any type of loan through USDA, that loan could be lumped in to where the loan would be a lot more, and the term could be adjusted that we could qualify for lower rate than what it currently is.
Okay.
See what the threshold was?
Say that again?
The threshold, what's the triggering amount that makes
Around
us eligible for lesser rates?
3 million is typically where they're at, and they go anywhere up to, she said 5 to 6 million, and then if you go over 6 million, then they start looking at the threshold of the value of, or the ability of us to meet that large of a loan. And then also, if we're investing in something that much, that term of that loan, and whatever we're getting a loan for, well, a 40-year loan typically is what we're purchasing, or what we're getting the money for and investing in, gonna be around for 40 years.
Right.
So those were the things to look at. And I spoke with our director of utility services, and they're coming up with different plans for financing and looking for funds and things like that. So he's gonna take this into consideration when he's looking at USDA to either reduce that or bring it into a lower interest and consolidate it.
Okay.
Okay? We have come to a tentative agreement. We'll be visiting an action item of our MOU with our employees, County responded to us with an inquiry about N Street property, and at this time, it's basically in their low income or high density affordable housing, that's what we're looking for. Affordable housing, and they have it, it'll be on the market, it's available at market value of $640,000. And that's where they're at with it. So it's not like we're gonna probably have any opportunity to petition it or work with it, or it would require us to engage in some kind of,
Who came up with that number?
the county did.
It was on the market for $250,000 and the guy couldn't sell it.
Well, right here, they're saying 640,000. So that's,
That's interesting.
That's so they can.
There's an error there. There's no way those 3 lots were worth $640,000.
The lot across the street from my house that they're building, all the utilities were $750,000, and he couldn't sell it, and that's why he's building them.
I don't know what they took in consideration. I mean, if they're basing this off North County properties and it took in properties of that size in other developed areas, I mean, if you try to compare to Paso Robles, it probably would be that value, but their letter right here just basically states
Right.
that that's what they would ask for.
Of course.
So then we're paying a lot for a long time.
Mhm.
I mean, it's all done through an outside appraiser, and then it's given to the county. So the county paid somebody to come out, appraise it, and based on the buildability and what it's rated, what it's zoned for, and the availability of utilities, that's probably how they came to that. But I was talking to the owner of the project right across from Anthony's house, and he said that he didn't even buy that project for that much with plans. So, yeah, there's not a high likelihood that the county's gonna be able to sell it,
So it's gonna sit there fenced off forever.
probably.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's still an opportunity for us to negotiate with the county and see if they're willing to come down, but it's not gonna be down where we could have gotten it.
We'll give them $1,500 for it.
Well, if you counter and go back to them, we know that's a ridiculous amount, and offer them something far less.
How about 5,000?
But Anyway, that's where it's at, so we had a letter from them right here for the response on it.
So, have we done any other research with county or public works, or really whoever has jurisdiction over that property to see if there is a negotiable portion to this, and if so, how do we negotiate the price?
Your county superintendent was here and he said
I know,
he would look into it.
you did.
That's why we got
We can get back to him.
That letter was generated from his looking into it?
No,
That's not effective
It's from
government.
the,
that was outside his purview. I spoke to him.
I think so too. Future inquiries, please feel free to contact Phil DeCry by telephone.
Yeah, I'd have Joe talk to Phil.
So why don't I call John and have him tell Phil to get back on the same plan that we're on.
Right.
$640,000 is a ludicrous sum of money.
Right. We'll give him 6,400.
Okay. Deal. I'm
That's
on
what
board
we
with
meant. And you know, why
that.
not
All
take
right, I will call John Prashant's office and see if we can make some headway on it.
Last thing I have is our special district finance transcript report on our audit has been filed with the state, so it's done. It's turned out. That's all I have.
Okay. Yes. Any public comment on the interim general manager's report? No. District General Counsel.
One quick update about the Callie Johnson criminal matter. I've been in touch with the district attorney's office, and she is trying to get qualified for something called mental health diversion. According to the DA's office, he believes the judge is getting more and more irritated every time her counsel decides to push it further. So we'll have more information after February 27th.
Is that the next court date?
February 27th.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any public comment on the District General Counsel report? District Engineer, not present. Any insight on that?
He submitted a report. If you have any questions, I'd probably be able to answer them. He's currently at the Mission Meadows HOA meeting. Hopefully he makes it out alive. But if you have any questions, we'll probably answer them for you.
Okay.
Did we find it easy to contact Mission Meadows HOA after the merry-go-round?
Well, it stopped and we were able to finally talk to a real person.
Is that through management trust?
Yes, but she's very confusing.
Have we haven't received anything from anybody in those neighborhoods?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Do we have any other board comment on the
I think we'll know more tomorrow.
District Engineer report? Any public comment on the District Engineer report? Direct Utilities.
I have submitted a report. I just have, I guess, two quick things. We finally did receive a quote for landscaping maintenance. So that'll be coming back to the board next month for potentially approval to move forward with that.
Was it reasonable?
And without getting too deep into it, it basically about 23,000 to do all of the work that was originally proposed, which was all the landscaping along Mission, Father Reginald Park, and the gateway signs
Annual.
annually. So it's still cheaper than hiring somebody and paying them, and it removes the liability from the district from having our personnel in those areas.
Okay,
And then we don't have to buy the equipment to do it, so there you go.
okay.
So that'll be coming back. We had one other interested party, but they didn't provide an estimate or a quote or anything, so I'll try to get a hold of them again and see if they're still interested. It didn't sound like they were super thrilled after I met with them in the first place, so. Other than that, announcements went out
What about the plumbing?
We will be pursuing that. There is another avenue to do that, but
We can do that first.
well, we can do that with our people. the whole sticking point was who was gonna maintain it if we get involved with it at all.
I see. So you're looking at the district doing the labor and materials.
So the repairs to the infrastructure in the street, or not the street, but in the sidewalk areas is fairly minimal in my opinion. And it's something that we can do with our staff and get done at a cheaper cost by doing it ourselves. The long-term maintenance was the sticking point with the board, and rightfully so. So now that we're kind of making headway with that, then we can bring the whole package back and move forward. Or not, at the board's prerogative. But there is still money sitting at the Chamber of Commerce that's got to be used by July, so we'll have to kind of pick up the pace.
What happens if it's not used by July?
Not real sure. It's they have a deadline to use it by the end of the fiscal year, but I'm not sure what really happens to it because it's a beautification grant from the Board of Supervisors. So it probably would just get rolled back over.
Or they would lose it.
I don't know. Do you know?
Yes, you can extend it. They have provisions, you can extend it possibly, but the money would just go back to their grant fund if it wasn't used.
Yeah, that's not good.
So we could still get all the repairs made by July.
Okay.
I don't have a issue with that. It's just a matter of getting somebody to maintain it and not having to do that. So
And some concrete in a few places.
we would be.
You're bringing that back next month?
Yeah, I'll put that together and have that back for
Okay.
February.
I have a question, if I can insert it there, about that. I mean, he's not finished, but can I do that?
Sure. Public comment on
The landscape. Kelly, my question is, if you're going to do the work for the money the grant provides, are you gonna bill them so that the CSD can at least get that reimbursed to them?
We'll have to see what the end result is of the cost to actually do the repairs for the materials. But there is a possibility that we could get reimbursed for part of our labor.
Yeah.
Because the amount that they have should be sufficient to pay for all of the repairs, and they're
And
potentially
plantings
would be,
too.
that would be part of the repair, yeah. Replacing some of the plants,
Some.
a lot of them.
Thank you.
So that would have to be assessed.
Okay.
They have to use it for that grant they applied for, so they can't
Yeah.
just use it for something else, so you should get it.
But we've been in contact with the county, the office that actually administers the grant, so we'll just touch base with them and see how they want to do that.
Okay.
The only other thing I have right now is that, as I'm sure you're all aware, our utility worker departed to go work for the county. We have job announcements out for operators. We've received a total of 4 applications, 3 of which are not qualified. So it's 4. So hopefully by the end of this month, we have a few more applications and we can potentially do interviews next month.
We consider filtering from other agencies?
Oh, we sent it to all the operators.
Okay.
So you can get same as we did last time, you have a list from the state of all registered operators, and we sent it to all those.
Okay.
Do we have an idea what source was most effective to get inquiries?
Pardon me?
BC Water Jobs.
Yeah, BC Water Jobs has been the most
Okay.
most fruitful so far.
The letters just went out like a week ago.
Last week.
Yeah, I've been getting some return mail at this point, so.
Okay.
Okay. Any other board comment on the Director of Utilities report? Any other public comment?
I just have a question. Is there any possibility you could add a signing bonus to a job like that and have provisions in there of they have to, they don't get it if they haven't completed certain requirements, but might entice some people to be a little more interested?
Like a free ride out of fire truck?
That could be part of it.
Yeah.
No, they do signing bonuses in police departments now, it's very effective.
It's something we can look at, and I prefer not to do that.
Do any other agencies offer a signing bonus for operator positions?
Not usually unless they have an extremely difficult time hiring operators. It's usually for higher positions where they have to have very specific licensing, which is not common. So it's something we can look at. Hopefully we don't have to go that route because that's just extra money out of our coffers.
Agreed. Okay. Any other public comment? No. Moving on, fire chief report.
I'll submit as written, just one comment, the AEDs that were purchased are all now in service. And we went through training, so we still need to mount the one in the front office, but we're out and they're being used. Well, they're available to be used. We haven't
Thank you.
used one just yet. Come close, but no.
Eve Ward, comment on the fire chief report.
I have one, I'm not sure, I might be wrong, but on the mileage and fuel,
Okay.
the totals, I think they're, because you have gas 12,470, we over here, you have the first 6 months, you have 12,470.
It might be,
And then-
my Excel didn't carry it over. The first 6 months is?
Well, you have the
Oh,
470,
it
and
just-
didn't add the 7.
It didn't add the
201.
7201, I'm sorry, yeah.
It's the same for the diesel one is correct, but then the gallons for both. I
I'll
think
look
it's
at the
wrong.
formula in the Excel. I had a problem with that last time. I don't know if when I fill it out, if I mess up the formula in the cell or not, because it
The
just
di-
added it, let it go.
If I'm correct, I think the diesel got it. It did the diesel one right, it didn't do the gas or the gallons.
Oh, okay.
For both of them.
I'll look at it, thank you.
And I think it's, on top it says, where was it? It says year-to-date 2016, it will be 2019 if I'm correct.
Really? Because mine's 2019.
I see it's the bottom of the
Yeah,
document.
year-to-date, at the very bottom.
Oh, right here.
Oh, okay.
No wonder why that's been working.
Okay. Any other board comment? Any public comment, fire chief's report? No. Moving on, consent calendar. There's some adjustments to the meeting minutes.
Okay, which one? Here we
So,
go. Let's start with A.
start with A, one change.
Oh, no. Okay, we're at
It would be page 2,
page 2.
last paragraph, third line down. Director Callen has asked about, it should be about.
About?
Yeah, this isn't the south.
I'm totally humped up.
In item B,
Okay.
it would be page number 2,
Ooh.
section 4, specifically item 6, interim general manager. The line is, Chief Robert Robertson explained the board will the mid-year budget.
Ow.
So
That needs to be reworded.
it's reworded, should make the mid, so maybe it should be, will make the mid-year budget adjustments, so it's missing word. And the next one is page 5, under board comment. Blah, 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 B, mid-page, line is auditing services cost per the contract and voiced that he wanted the other director to be aware of the cost should be directors.
I remember that line.
Yes. Those are the only corrections I seem to be made.
Okay. I got 'em.
Anyone else? motion to approve the amended special workspace board meeting and regular board meeting minutes.
Second.
So do you guys wanna only approve item 1 and then approve item 2? Because consent is just be approved.
Oh,
Unless you have some problems and you wanna talk about in 2.
I don't.
The handbook?
So we have to approve item 1 separately from item 2 since we effectively removed it for the amendments.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so motion, Sangster with amendments for item 1.
Second, Dr. Wood.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, hearing none, passed 5-0, no absence with amendments. Now number 2.
Item died.
It wasn't.
What's that, number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Hector,
Mm-hmm.
Allenbox, and Sangster. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing none, 5-0, no absence, no amendments. Okay,
Moving on to board action items. We discussed, receive and file the emission of financial report for December 2019.
So on the,
D,
I just went micro on my thing here, so I
it's
can.
D that you're talking about.
D.
D.
So D is the, expenditure versus,
Yeah, I'll show you. It's the statement of expenditure budget versus actual, and you have your right there.
yeah, I would ask you not receive that one, it's not reflecting the budget versus actual.
I looked at it, it's not the same report as you guys normally get, the code.
So item D, the only portion of this that is not correct
That I'm aware of this time.